Hi, this is Rex Carden with the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can contribute to open source libraries on GitHub. And I am going to show you an example as if you were going to contribute to the ESAPIX extension library for the Variant Eclipse Scripting API. We're going to make a sample method here. And so this video is really for programmers in radiation oncology or medical physicists, but it could be used by anybody who's trying to contribute to a open source library on GitHub. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you are going to need to download Git, which is a source control software that you can install on Mac and also on Windows. And I'm kind of going to assume you're on Windows here if you are a Variant developer, but you can do this. I'm sure they have Git for mostly every operating system. So you're going to download that and install it, and then you are going to create a branch from the master branch. So actually, the way this works is you have this branch, this main branch, and let's say you have an idea you want to contribute. And you can, you'll create a copy of the main branch and work on your feature that you're making. And then eventually you can ask to send that back to the master branch, the main branch that it came from. And you can, in that way, add new features to an open source library. That's kind of the design of open source, is that lots of people can contribute to one code base and everybody benefits. Let's look at the ESAPIX library. You're also going to need to create a GitHub account. So I'm going to have to sign out here. I have created a GitHub account just for this tutorial here. Let's see, I called it ESAPILearn. Once you've got your account created, so I'm now logged in as that other account. You can type in the library that you want to modify. So I'm going to type in ESAPIX, and I see this is the main branch here. And you can go over here to this fork button, and when you click on fork, it will copy the entire source code over to your namespace. So now you can see I've got this ESAPILearn, ESAPIX. This is the entire source code copied from the master branch of the ESAPIX library. If we're going to make our extensions to this, or we're going to add some features, we need to clone this to our desktop. So to clone a library, you can go up to this green button here and click on it. You'll see there is the, you're going to need to copy this link. When you press that button, it will copy. And then let's go to the desktop and let's make a new folder. We'll call this ESAPIX feature. And if we go inside of that folder, we can right click after we have installed Git on our computer. We can open up what's called the Git bash. And now we can type in git clone. And then I'm going to right click and click paste that link, and if I press enter, it will clone that entire source code repository into this local folder. So we're ready to make our modifications. Let's go into our source code folder and open up Visual Studio. We'll open up the solution here. So you want to find the class inside the library that you want to modify. In this case, I found a class. It's called Planning Item Extensions, and I came up with a useful method that I think everybody could use. And the idea here is that you can aggregate beams from multiple plans in a plan sum. Currently, you can only iterate beams on a plan setup, but you cannot iterate beams on a plan sum, which is a combination of plan setups. So if you're not in radiation oncology, that probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but the main point here is that we are making a new method. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. And it's called getBeams, and it takes planning items. This is an extension method. It's pretty simple. It just iterates through, and it tries to pick which type of class you're working with, and then does an operation based on that. I also added a little bit of comments here just so it's a little clearer on what this method is supposed to do for everybody else who's going to use it. That's all we're going to do. We just added that one method, and we can actually close out a Visual Studio. And if we go back to our git bash, we can say git status. Let's see, maybe I think I'm in the wrong directory. Let's go in this folder. You need to see this git. It's a hidden folder. Let's try that again. Git status. Okay, now we can see, hopefully you can see this is pretty small text. But it says modified and it says planning item extension. So it recognizes that we changed that class. So now we can do git add. We'll add this. We'll stage it for a commit. And now we can go ahead and commit it to our repository that we copied. So if you do this -m, I'm doing git commit -m, and I'm saying added beam method to planning item extensions. So I'm committing that, and then I'm going to say git push. And this will work for you. It probably will not work for me. Probably don't have the right credentials. Let's see. Did it work? Looks like it did work. Cool. Okay, so if it worked, then that means when we pushed it, it means it went back to the web. And let's look and see in our ESAPIX learn here. Let's see if we can find that method that I modified. So that was in extensions, and it was in a class called planning item extensions. Here. Let's see. There it is, getBeams. Okay, so this is the new method that we just created. Okay, this is still over in my namespace. This is not back to the master Rex Carden ESAPIX library. So we want to ask Rex if he will merge that into the master, because I think this would be useful for everybody. The way you do that is you go back to the master branch. So we're back at Rex Carden ESAPIX, and you want to go to this pull request tab. Click on pull request, and then you say new pull request. A pull request is it's asking me to pull your changes into the master branch. So since you forked it, you need to click on this compare across forks link here. And now you can go down to your fork that you did where you made your changes. And so we're going to move from the base into this new fork. And once you are done with that, you can just say create pull request. You can say something like, hey, I thought this was a really good idea. Create pull request one more time. And then it's there. It's ready to be pulled in. Okay, I'm going to log in as myself, and I want to show you what I see when one of these comes across. Now I'm logged in as myself, and I see on my main page that there is a new request, a new pull request, and I can actually go ahead and open that pull request right from here. And I can see the comment, hey, I thought this was a really good idea. I can also go up to files changed, and I can actually see what you have done. So I can look at this and say, you know, is this useful to everybody? Is this going to be a good change that and it's not malicious or anything like that? And then once I have done that, I can click review changes, and I can say, yeah, yes, great idea. And then I can do this right here. I can merge the pull request, confirm that. And then that's it. So now the new features that you have done have been pulled in to the master. We can verify that by going down to now the master library, and you can see in the extensions folder, you can already see this comment here, added beam method to planning item extensions. And we could go in there and just verify that it's really there, but you can tell that it's there. So let's see, let's make sure. There it is, get beams, okay. So then this now and forever will be a contribution made by you to an open source library. Even if you haven't written most of the code, you can write these little extensions and really make significant differences to the overall code base. So hopefully you find that helpful. And if you are in radiation oncology, I encourage you to find a library that you're interested in and try to contribute to it.